Hello and welcome to Dell's Gaming, and this is from the depths, and I want to start a new campaign. So we're going to kick this off. This will be a once a week little campaign I'll work through. The adventure will still be the main one, so the adventure will be the main one I'll play. This will be just something I'm working on on the side with some different ship designs. So new campaign. Okay, we don't need to worry about the tutorial. Now I'm doing Netta. Now one thing here is with the very hard medium, although I want medium settings, I actually want to start in the deep water guard areas because I want to basically get to where I was before in the campaign quickly, and I want to sort of progress through the difficulty and timelines of the vehicles I'm going to bring in. So I'm not going to go all out hard stuff at the beginning. So I'm going to use the start that everyone's sort of used to having, and then use the custom settings. So I'm going to increase the enemy growth factor. I'm going to put the combat to quite challenging. I'm going to be more potent. Damage I always like at 100%. I don't like, etc. Let's see, enemy growth factor. We'll put the enemy growth factor, give them plenty of ships. I don't do capturing of ships unless by happenstance or design. I don't go over and destroy AIs. If they ram me and die and become mine, that's different. So my resources I want to be given through the destroying them. Combat quite challenging. I think that 1.2 setting will mean I get a lot of a lot of ships rather than just getting lots of godly ships. I don't want to go. I want sort of like nice big fleets with a few hard or godly type of ships, but mainly the lower levels, just to have a nice big, making things go boom. That's the type of campaign I want, because I'm making it difficult anyway. That's loud. Okay, so the premise for the start of this campaign is I'm going to use the Kasierliche Marine Zeppelin system, Zeppelin ships that I'm going to build over the next little while. I've got a few set up already, but I want to build a few more, obviously. So first of all, we're going to rebuild the base as is normal. I think that's what everyone does at the very beginning, and then whilst that's building, I will go through my plan, or the rules I set myself. I always tend to set up rules for a game, a playthrough, and yeah, that's the way I tend to do it, and set myself a set of requirements for doing this. So let's just see. I need to hold that at minus. Who is it? Azimuth? I think that's the one. Let's try that. Right. So what I'm going to bring in is I've got a number of ships already built, some starter ships anyway, enough to go through the starting bit. So if we load in, we got the Zeppelin. So all Zeppelins have this LZ start to them, and it's Biesdorf base, about 11,000. And what we'll do is, once it's started building, we'll attach it to this, apply, activate. Is that building in the right way? Looks roughly correct, I think. No, that's upside down. Oh, possibly it's minus 90. That looks correct. I think we'll see in a bit. Anyway, so the premise of this is that the Kasierliche Marine engineers and the Admiral von Zeppelin came up with a brand new version or format of helium. No, that is wrong. Super helium, which is easy to make. It doesn't blow up like the hydrogen, which was a problem for the real Zeppelins, so it's not flammable. And it allows you to have armoured ships at the same time as them going into the air and travelling through the air. So it makes them more resource. You just need to propel them through. They can go faster in the air. There's less resistance. Range is quite good for them, and because of the extra weight of the armour that they can have, because of the super helium, they don't have problems with storms and all this type of thing. Anyway, that's the premise for this. So when the Admiralty come up with various ship designs, Von Zeppelin will use the guns, what it's intended to do, all of those type of factors in coming up with a design for the ship that just happens to use lighter than air rather than uses lighter than airships instead. Right, we can take that off. We can take it off the tractor beam, and that is the premise I'm going to go. So all my ships are going to be somewhat what should we say, based upon a real world, in some cases, ship, but obviously be lighter than air. So the basic concept of the lighter than air I'll go through on a design. I think I may have shown it before, but basically I have these areas, these are basically their bags with a helium pump, and this is how it stays afloat. There's no propellers except for the propellers making it go backwards and forwards, and I have them with these small wheels in case in the future there is a way of powering them with a steam engine. So this is my Biesdorf base, which Biesdorf was one of the first bases where Zeppelins were made. So let's just go through a little walkthrough. So we're in the bridge, lots of ACBs to do various things on here, and there is actually one I want to change. The height, actually, if I can find it. Let's change that to 8 meters. Just get it out of the water a little bit. I know that it's a silly little change, but it's something I want to do. So after the bridge we have the AI room. Then we've got my office. So my office, I've got a desk here to do some plans, and then we can either go through the central door, we'll go around the outside. I like closing the doors behind me. So this is the resource area. Obviously, as you can see, we've got the build systems, more resources, then we've got the miner components. So these are the miners, and it looks like we could have some more miners actually, so we can check them out. They're working okay. I feel we've got more materials coming in than is going out. So let's just see if I put a couple more in. Obviously, it'd be, if it's going into a negative, we'll try that many. Yeah, we'll try that many and see if that stays stable. Yes, that seems to be stable. Right, okay, let's go back in here, and then at the back we've got the steam room. Steam room, what power we got at the moment? We've got 240 or 245. Let's see, our steam is okay. We're running at, are we running at 100%? we are. I can always increase the number or size of boilers if we find that the resource zone can handle a bit more, but we'll stay at the level we're at this moment. So this is our ship. So this is, oops, that's not what I want to do. Come on, close the door. There we go. And we'll go back to our area, back into my office. I'll have a sit down here so I can have a look outside. So we're in, here we are in the area, and we've started over in the Deepwater Guard zone, the usual spot. So the first thing I'm gonna want to do is build something that will give me slightly better vision. Now I know people build satellites and things like that, but I've got a different ship. It's actually a light cruiser. It's the Blitz light cruiser. So basically it is it's based upon real world Blitz cruiser. I'll bring it up. So what I've tried to do, let me just go and find it first. Scout Blitz, there we go. Right, manually load that, and then I'm going to put it onto here, apply, activate. So it should start building. So my plan for building ships, the airships, is their role. So a light cruiser is designed to do scouting, long range, but is lightly armed. So this is a lightly armed ship. It's got mainly light, it's light metal, basically. Has to be light because there is a limit as to how much the helium will bring up. The key bits that I try to make similar, and I'll bring up a picture of the Blitz cruiser. I'm not going to know all the history, but that's the look of the Blitz cruiser. And what I try to do is match the approximate guns that are on there, and also funnels where I can. There's a few concessions I'm making, but these are also all steam powered, because the ships were steam powered, so my ships are steam powered. That gets a bit noisy when you get a bit close. Okay, things I've done in my building design, which are more for, as I say, in my head, what would be functionally correct. So these turrets, rather than just having them hanging underneath, so this is a 120 mil, what's that, about 4.5 inch gun, an 88 mil on the back there. So we'll look at the stats of that, and it did have a 4-inch gun and 4 88mm guns. So I put 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, but because these guns actually, they've got to have people in them, and they haven't got anti-gravity boots, so they've got to be on a base. So that's why they've been putting this style. The other bit is this turret, although it's going up into here where the loaders and people organise it, in a normal ship, a turret has a ring, and it's actually free floating inside this turret ring. So I was thinking, okay, what if they made a nice strong bit underneath, so it actually is resting on this part here, effectively. It's not part of the turret, it's part of the ship. It's just a concession I was thinking. So you'll see this design aesthetic. It's sort of holding the turret into the vessel, and I'm going to use that as a commonality throughout my ship designs. So let's go and first of all release this ship. Well, what we'll do is we'll go and release it, and we'll go on board. And hopefully it will start flying. Now this is designed to maximum height is 275, At the moment, it's in. I'm going to take it out of this fleet, so it's a fleet on its own. So I can. So we're already starting to get a nice bit of area here, and I can then tell it to go.
Moving out.
Into this corner here. So it's need to let it sort itself out. 275 is the highest I can get a helium without using upward facing rotors, which there is none in this vessel. So the basic design is, you can see this center bit here is where the helium balloon is. So we've got 2 funnels, which was on the Blitz, and the same number of guns. Lengths and widths are going to be a bit out, but that's going to have to change just to play with the game. Otherwise, it'll be I won't be able to do anything really. Yeah. So we've got this airbag in the center, and these are just basically aluminium plates, and the armor sits around it. So we've got mainly light armor, either slopes or just angles. It's not very tough because this is obviously only a light cruiser. So the armor basically goes around in a sort of like a U shape underneath the gas bag. And that covers it. So if we take a shot from the top, we are going to lose a lot of energy, a lot of helium. The gas bag area is not walkable on any of the ships, but I have tried to make at least the bit underneath where all the guns are. You've got a nice little deck area to have a look around on, and be able to go and check the guns at the back. So that's common in most of them, but I haven't given enough space. Theoretically I could, but there's an area along the side which is sort of traversable, but because of the use of the blocks, it doesn't always, and we've got nighttime coming, let's just turn my light on, you can't always walk around this. So I've left it, say it's full of crawl spaces rather than walk spaces. Concession for the game rather than reality, but this is fictional. At the back here is a steam engine. So we have, these are, as I said, these are mainly steam powered. Turn my light on again. Just a small steam engine, and when there's no enemies around, they do tend to just run on without the steam running. It has got a wheel and then a deady blade. At some point, as I say, if they do allow the steam engine to run the helicopter blades, then I would love to convert these so that the steam actually gives you the power. The same here. All of them have actually got a small wheel, so that theoretically when we get the patch in where we can link wheels, we could have this powered by the steam engine or steam engines. Anyway, that's just a little thought I was having on it. How are we doing in general? So this has got plenty of resources, 18,000, and let's see, now we're at full height. Yep, it's seeing an area. No, it's not a great amount of area, but I can have these go into various zones and do capturing, etc. And it's an area and a half. That's not too bad. Okay, let's go back to the base and think, what is the next stage? So the next stage is preparation for the council meeting and defense. So defensively, I've got a couple of little small ships, because we still haven't got many resources in this zone at the moment, so I don't want to go mad. So let's just get some ships which can defend me and or use them in an offensive manner, because just in case. So let's start with, we've got some destroyers, and let me make sure I get the right one. So these are my version of the S7, which was a torpedo boat used pre-World War These were small torpedo boats. They had a 50mm gun and 3 torpedoes. So whilst this is building, and I've got 2 versions. We've got the Escort version and the which is the G7 Escort, and the S7, which is more of a take out big ships. So we'll load first of all an S7 and put it onto the tractor beam. There we go. So this is airborne powered. Again, it has a gas area in the center and all the guns are on the back. Now, one concession, I've given this a couple of guns to it, and also we'll just talk about torpedoes and missiles because I'm using missiles on this. So if you didn't know, the a lot of modern torpedoes, certainly World War I torpedoes, were not necessarily designed but come from a history of the Whitehead torpedo, which was the first viable torpedo that could sink a ship and showed the capability of torpedoes in general. Let's go onto this first, and then we can release it. So it showed the capability potential of torpedoes. So what I've done is we've got here a radar launched one, because we've got the Wright torpedo, as in the Wright brothers, who made a flying torpedo. That's my sort of fitting for the function. And we've got a Whitehead torpedo, which is a normal torpedo. Yeah. So we've got the Wright torpedo and the White torpedo. Yeah, I know it's confusing, but I just sort of made it up in my head as I was coming along, and I thought, yeah, that sort of makes sense. Then we got a couple of 60mm on the side, just to mimicking those 50mm. So yes, this goes up at a nice height. It's not going to win any prizes for taking out ships, but this, with the missiles and the torpedo, it is going to take out larger ships quite nicely. Let me just go back to my sort it out actually as a position for it.
Listening. Moving out.
This also, I should say, is designed to go and attack. So this is an offensive ship. It will attack anything within 4,500 meters. So this will go out and actively attack ships at a distance. So that's my offensive ship, and now we're going to look at my escort ship. So let me just bring in the escort. So the G7 is the escort version, and I've called it escort as well. So we'll just bring that in, tractor beam, change to G7, apply, activate. So fundamentally the same look. We'll go onto it. Fundamentally the same ship in basic looks. Again, I've tried to keep the fact of weapons and all the weapons turrets basic size and its use. So the G7, there wasn't a G7. This is a basic extra that I need for the game. So this is intended to get close to enemies. It's a little faster, so it's very loud when it starts pulling things in. It is on my ears. I will edit out all the noises. It's a little faster. The engines run on overdrive. It's also got small missiles on the front, a thumper head, as well as a Whitehead torpedo, and lots of 30mm assault guns. So this is designed to go against small vessels really close. It gets really close up and then starts attacking people. Can I do it from there? No, I can't release the tractor beam from... Oh, no, I can't. I can only do it from here. Okay, just thought I'd check. So, yeah. The other difference here is this only attacks when something gets within 1,500 meters. So it is designed for close escort only. That is its
moving out.
Basic design. So they're the ships I have to work with at this stage. I have a number of others, but basically I'm not going to go and attack anyone until I have a reason to, unless they come. So these are my defensive forces at the moment. Now I could just send in my cruiser into, say, here and see what happens. We've got let's see, what's that saying? That's annoying. If you go up, if I go back into there, can't. Okay, it does it. 37 minutes till the next council meeting. So let's see what happens if I go proactively, start moving into these areas. See if anyone complains. If they do, I can build up some defensive forces, should we say. Right, how's our area doing? So our garbage patch still has 90-odd thousand and has 352 in reserve. So the reserves are being taken out fairly quickly. But I don't think I've got enough. No, I haven't got enough power in this engine to really have more miners than I've got there. So I think I'll stick with that. Theoretically, if you put lots down, loads of power, you could get plenty of that reserve. But I think we'll leave it. So we'll try and capture this area with this scout. Maybe I need another scout. Let's get another scout out. How much resources? We've got 19,000. Those scouts are quite expensive actually for 20,000. I think I'm better off building some more destroyers while I'm waiting. So I'm going to build some more ships, possibly as a more offensive force. And yeah, I will see you back in a minute or two. And sitting at my desk on the base, I'm waiting for the next meeting. There's only a couple of minutes left before it starts. Let me just... Oh, I don't want to do that. Why does it keep on doing that? Okay, hang on a second.
Moving now.
Anyway, 2 minutes to the next meeting. What I have done in the last little while is captured these 3 zones. I built another scout. It's the Fiel, which is the sister ship to the Blitz. So at the moment I'm using the names of the real ships. So we've got a nice area. I can't go up the top because that would be going into, I think, into Onyx Watch area. There's a green line there. And the blue ones here are obviously Deep Water Guard. So I've also created the S7s, put 2 of those together in a destroyer flotilla here, and also another one here, which I need to rename the fleet. Destroyer flotilla south. So that's going to be south, and then we'll rename this one to be, instead of being numbers, let's give it a bit more. This will be north. Now, depending on what happens with the meeting, we'll get some resources in intention as such, and then we can build either more ships and go and attack a Deep Water Guard, or it depends what happens in the meeting. But that is the usual plan as such at the first meeting. Now I have got a couple of larger ships ready, but I'm going to see what I can do with some hit and run raids, certainly from the first one, with our destroyers and the cruisers, and try and get this first part done just with the small ships. They're nice and fast, they can get in, hit and run raids, and have the resources available to quickly build a bigger ship if we need it. But the priority will be, as you could imagine, taking this resource point and taking out this area and defending that. So my resources will be put towards a mining Zeppelin, which I have got a mining, specifically a mining Zeppelin, with some escorts. And yeah, we'll see how that pans out, basically. We'll see how we go with that. Let's see what the meeting goes. We've got a couple of more seconds to go, 20 seconds, and then we can see the first meeting between there was a Zeppelin, Kasierliche Zeppelin, or Kasierliche Marine, or whatever name we come up with, and the other people on this map. So here we go. Right. Okay, there we've got a pause. Right, okay, so the spotlight shows the red. So let's see, Steel Striders, yellow, okay, Twin Guard. So they're all green with us. Scarlet Dawn's green. Onyx Watch are happy with us, that's good. Let's see. Oh, that's me. That isn't me. Or is it me? Is that really me inside that suit? Anyway, the White Flayers, yeah. Lightning Hoods, Grey Talons, Deepwater Guard. So they're not happy, but what are my options? I've got no commodities to spend, apparently, because I haven't built a refinery to make the commodities, which I can then spend in meetings. Fine, that's a later game thing. So, lead a war against Onyx Watch. No. Join Lightning Hoods in a war against Onyx Watch and Deepwater. So, Lightning Hoods are at war with the Onyx Watch. With the Deepwater Guard. That's new. I thought they were. Ah, of course, it's the White Flayers they are. Friends with. Yes, yeah, okay. Leader War gets a Deepwater Guard. That's 319. That's good. Oh, a million. No, I don't want to do it. I think that looks like the most potential one. Join Onyx Watch against both of those. Now join Onyx Watch and War against Deepwater. Cost, that's a cost. No, okay, I think I'm just going to take this simple one here. Lead a war against, no, let's get the right, against the Deepwater Guard, 319k. Let's just see if we can expand our territories. Let's not go mad, because I'm not intending to. If I was doing this differently with big OP million point ships, then I would take one of these other ones, possibly this one here against a Deepwater Guard. It gives me 959, but I'm not. I'm doing this with small little ships, so I think this one, let's not bite off more than I can chew. Yeah, confirm your allegiances and declare declarations of war for the next 2 hours. I think that will do. So I am now at war with the Deepwater Guard. I'm neutral with them. Neutral. I'm neutral with everybody else. Happy with that. So I can now go on the offensive, and I've got 319 commodities nearby. So okay, what I'm going to do with those is, let's bring on my UI so I know what I'm doing. Right, so first of all, I'm going to build a little force ready to go and take that outpost. So first of all, we're going to need, in preparation, a miner. Where's my Zeppelin miner? Let's find it. There we go. I think that's the one. Yeah, 10,000 blocks. Yep. This is a bit more similar to a normal miner, not based upon anything in particular. It's actually got little landing legs, so that if I get a resource zone which is on the land, it will actually be able to land if in that zone. But we're not going to need that in this case. So what I'm going to do is build that plus two escorts, and send that as a fleet to take on the mining force, but it will be headed first by the scout and destroyer group. Right, so we've got no movements by the Deepwater Guard, so the southern fleet here will go in and take the Sinners outpost. The northern fleet will try and sneak a couple of these zones, but I'm going to wait until I've got the miner group ready to go. So I have built the fleet ready to take on the Erwick zone, the Sinners post, and it's making its way over in that direction. So we're ready to push forward. So plan. Let's first of all, we're going to take this zone here. So we'll take that in here with this and the destroyer fleet.
Moving out.
Destroyer flotilla south, and here what we're going to try and do is
moving out.
We're going to head straight for this zone here, I think, and the destroyers will take this zone. That will mean that my cruiser will have a better visibility. Let's pull everything out of what's around, and the scout field, and these were Abisos rather than light cruisers, but anyway, the Abiso will be able to spot a little bit further north, and the destroyer fleet will take these zones. They take a while to do the capture because they're fairly small, but we can see the airship gantry in the Sinners airpost, and that'll also give us a bit of seeing what's coming ahead. There is a chance. I've got quite a lot of resources in this zone, because in the area I've got 210 commodities available and 119 in the zone. I think 73 in the zone plus 119 and 210 spec. So I've got plenty to be able to bring in one of my larger cruisers. I do have a cruiser which is about 135,000, I think, so that's a big step from these Blitz cruisers and that. But let's see what we can do with the smaller ships, just out of interest. So let's speed this forward and see if the Deepwater Guard actually respond to our aggressive moves. Oops, we do have some movement there. What's this? This is a Shuriken. Waiting on more fleets. Okay, so they're building up a fleet by the looks of it at the Sinners outpost. That's fine. We've got a capture in progress in these two places. And why is the... it's gone to an altitude of 0 for some reason.
Listening. Moving out.
There we go. It obviously lost its altitude when it was moving. Never mind. That's better. I can see again. Surprising how quickly the 2 hours run. So that's the Onyx watch. So we should be able to this is ready to capture this once this area has been taken. but I should really think about taking this airship gantry. But let's let these other groups,
Listening.
the Erwick group here,
Moving out.
the Scout Blitz and the Destroyer here, take these on first, I think. And I think we're just about ready to take on the Sinner's Outpost and a couple of ships. He's moved up a Shuriken and a Scrapper, which should be okay for our forces. So what we're going to do is
Listening.
kick it off with a Destroyer fleet on all of these three. And we'll bring in the Cruiser and the Erwick group as well, just to really see what happens. So this will be the first battle for our troops. So I want to bring in that, I want to give myself, we're going to bring everything in. I want big battles. I'll leave the northern destroyer flotilla. I don't think it will be needed. I'm going to get first of all onto this Scout Blitz, because that's going to be the closest vessel, I think. And let's just get to the right place. There we go. Turn off the resource zone and begin the battle. Right, let's just see how it goes. So he has got missiles, some torpedoes. These are, sorry, the right head torpedoes. He has got a few on a bow mounted torpedo, which is historically correct for this particular one. Oh, I've taken some shots already, or I've blown myself up there potentially. Maybe one of those guns, the failsafe is wrong on it. Let's go and have a look what we've got coming in. We're taking a few hits, but nothing too bad. These are the destroyers. So we've got, let's see, what have we got? That's the cruiser. There's a destroyer there. So these destroyers are coming in at a height. They come in low. Actually, basically the system I have is the cruisers stay high and the destroyers get low, so that they can launch their rockets. So we should be having, now we have got someone sending in his own missiles. So here is a right head. It fires out. Oh no, that's the white head, which is actually a torpedo. Then we got the right head, which is they're fairly slow, not that long a range, radar guided. Okay, but they do the job. So yep, that Shuriken is a pain because it does fire missiles. Those missiles can have a problem against me. Let's see, what else have we got? There is that's a Shuriken. That was the Scrapper. Have we taken out the Sinner's Outpost already, or is that still to come in? Oh, okay, we seem to have done it already, and we've got plenty of salvage. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Not that I was expecting it to be a problem, really. Okay, let's get...
Moving out.
Why have we got markers going all over there? Okay, that's a bit of a weird bug. The waypoints have gone all over the place.
Listening. Listening.
Very strange.
Moving out.
Yeah, it went all over there. Okay, never mind. Got a Sea Viper there. We have, what's coming up? A Scrapper.
Listening.
The Erwick group needs to get into this zone
Moving
so
out.
it can start
moving out.
Getting the materials. We should actually then pick up these other bits on the way past. And what we got up in the north? We've got this Scout Cruiser. There's a Sea Viper. I'm tempted to take out the airship gantry with the scout cruiser Fiel and the Northern Destroyer group. So we'll bring these down so that they're close to each other, so that they're in range to be able to
moving out,
work together if needed. It's got a few nasty guns, but nothing really problematic, I think. What have we got coming up? We've got a Coyote and a Sea Viper. Neither is particularly problematic for me. Okay, let's zoom up to this next battle. So we have got a number of forces now converging in this area. Don't know if it's this new AI, but that's interesting. We have an Atlas and a where's the Atlas going for? The Atlas is attacking enemies, and it's being backed up by, I think that was the Sea Viper, and then we've got the airship gantry, and we've got scrapper. So I am capturing here.
listening,
So I'm possibly going to
Moving
have
listening,
the Southern Flotilla come and blockade the scrapper,
moving out,
whilst the scout takes the zone and the Airwick group gets and takes the resources. But I think our north group with the cruiser will take out this Atlas and Sea Viper and the airship gantry first. I think we'll take out the Atlas and the Sea Viper first. Yeah, that seems to make the most sense. So we'll take both of those out. We'll add in the scout, but this time I'm going to go on to the destroyer. So we'll see the view from the destroyer this time. They're trying to get close. We'll just begin the battle before they can get too close. Oh, there's a bit of noise. So we've got basically the two white right head torpedoes. They've been fired out, and then we got the white head won't get used. Let's come off of him for the moment. Let's go and have a look at the Atlas. So they should make their way over this way. That Atlas, yeah, with a load of medium missiles coming into him, I'm not expecting him to take or last too long. I haven't got any APNs or advanced targeting on those missiles, so they are prone to missing. That's my, at this level, it's my, what should we say? I do like making it more difficult, and in fact he will launch the torpedoes now. And now that he's in the water, the right head torpedoes are hitting nicely, and the white head torpedoes will be coming in shortly. Now I'm sure this isn't, it looks like it's static. It's not though. It's got resources. No, it is going at 25 meters a second, so they're not slow. These ships, they do go around. It was just seemed to be taking a bit of a pause there for a moment. The scout cruisers do stay at a long range. That's the Atlas gone. So then we had, I think this is just a Sea Viper. Yeah. Fast, but really not not really in the league with what we got now. Because it's small, I don't think our ships will fire their torpedoes, because it would be a waste to fire either the right head or the white head. I think it's less than, how many blocks have we got here? 246. Yeah, I think they've got a limit of possibly 500, but they don't need it. The cruiser's 88 and bigger gun is most probably going to be having a go, and the smaller guns will eventually take out this ship, I'm sure. So yeah, that's a quick little fight. Not expecting any problems here. Let's just, and yeah, we haven't had any challenges against our ships yet, so Yeah, he's firing small cannon shells. They've got quite a range now on those small. I seem to remember those small cannon shells only having a short range. They've increased the power of them a little bit as far as their speed and range go. These use a circle AI, just so that you can see some bits on these while we're here. They use, these are broadside ones. 2,500, 1,200. So they'll go down as low as 1,200, which is where we are. And they will keep moving around that area. The Scout uses a circle AI from memory, so they do use different ones. The advantage of the circle AI is it can make your height go up and down. I do use that on another one, I think, on the escorts, but these ones are just basic. It's annoying it's taking time, but okay, so it's already given me for the airship gantry, because if there's pull all, because the cruiser has travelled so far away. Okay, what I need to do is so we're basically have to go in to the airship gantry. Let's get everything together.
Moving out. Moving out.
So I want to see if I can get. How long have we got? So it's ready to fight. 84 seconds. Let's see if we can get the southern one in. Okay, I think we'll do it from here. First of all, I want to make sure that this is mining. Yep, that's it. That's mining, and it's in the mining zone. That's fine. Let's just make sure that if I go on to here and take it back out of the zone, it is actually, yes, that's taking in the resources. Excellent. That's exactly what I want to see it do. Taking the resources in. So that's our mining fleet there. So let's use the Flotilla South. We'll start the battle with these two and bring in my cruiser and destroy North. Now I'm going to go on to the Scout because it was, although actually looking at it, the Scrapper's heading that way. We'll start on the Scout just so that we can see what's happening. Size wise, let's bring everything in. Now they actually outnumber me here, so we got 6.5, they're at 15.6, so they've got the advantage block wise on this one. I could bring in this the other Scout potentially just as a backup, but I think we've got enough power here. If we can't do it with this, we've got to rethink everything. So Scout starting to fire, 4-inch gun on the front, sending some torpedoes out. That Scrapper is giving me some hits. Let's see, what's my speed? Oh, 41, 42. My speed's just higher than expected. I'm not complaining, but that seems to be quite high. I have got anti-missile some missile interceptors on here, I think, somewhere. We've taken a bit of damage, and I think it may have actually taken out. Interesting. Okay, I think he took out something, but let's see if one of the destroyers just took out that before it could get very far, so that's great, that's fine. Right, what else have we got in the airship gantry place? We've got the Atlas been launched, but I think they're going to be, what I need to do is concentrate on this, I think. So if I look at this and hold all target this.
Engaging now.
Let's get rid of this as a priority, thank you. Potentially that is what took did the damage to the scout. I want, and is also being repaired, so I need to get the damage up. Now we should have, we've got one damaged, they're both damaged, we've got some damages on some of them. Everybody's taking a little bit of damage. That's fine, I don't mind damage. This doesn't seem to be shooting anymore, so let's instead concentrate on this Atlas.
Engaging now.
Everyone concentrate on that Atlas. We've got some more torpedoes going in on here, which is good. But let's see if we can get this Atlas, because it's got some guns that I think it's got some APS guns, which is going to cause us a little bit of problem. I can't remember, is this a modified Atlas? No, it's just a standard Atlas. That's okay. Missiles going in. Screenshot worthy. I think that would be a good little... Pity it's not daylight, but I can't control the time in the game, unfortunately, or fortunately. What have we got over here? Is this one of our, this must be one of our destroyers. So it's got a flak gun. That was doing a fair bit of damage, but these are fairly quick. But they are susceptible to a bit of flak. Our two destroyers are coming across the land. They are still firing their missiles out. Oh, that took a hit. I'm guessing it's this flak cram. But let's get rid of the Atlas first. The Atlas seems to be... Yeah, is that... Yes, it's... Well, no, it's still got these two guns on the back, which are flak guns. I want that taken out. That's taken out. Right. Let's concentrate now on the gun. Then we can just... So, on there.
Engaging now.
All target. It is getting repaired by the gantry. But... One problem with, not a problem, but one thing with the radar guided missiles is they do tend to go for just the biggest thing they see rather than necessarily what you aim at. So yeah, I reckon this was the one, he's going for the Blitz cruiser. I reckon that's the one that did the damage to the field. What have we got? We've got, no, I didn't bring in the other cruiser, I only brought one cruiser in. I think. Yes, we've got one escort cruiser here in this group. So, yeah, one of the groups has got two S7s and one's got an S7 and an escort. The idea being that it follows the first destroyer in, and if it gets close enough, it starts going close range. I might get another one for my Flotilla North, actually. I don't think we'll see it getting close here. Because basically the escort one, because the others will stay at... Ooh, no, actually you might see it get close. Let's see. Yes, it's potentially possible. And then it circles at about 300 meters, firing its missiles in at quite a rate. So yeah, I'm not sure where they all are. I know what's happened. The escort one, is that the has stayed here. It's not following the flagship. That's annoying. It's decided that it's going to stay at this point. So I've got a, can I oh, no.
Control yours. Moving out.
I've got to put it into patrol mode.
Control yours. Moving out.
Okay, so fleet move does not work as I like in the adventure. So although he's on fleet move, he's just staying in that spot he started at, rather than following the flagship. So fleet move in combat does not work as I would like. That's really annoying, because that means the whole concept of having close escorts is not going to work. I'm going to have to rethink some of my ships. Okay, well the battle's finished, which is good. Let's pull everything out and see what the situation is. Again, these waypoints have gone way off.
Listening.
Don't know why it's going there.
Moving out.
Could be
Listening.
annoying. So we'll.
Moving out. Listening. Moving out. Moving out.
All right, you're going to go around and pick up those resources and then head back to here.
Moving out.
Right, okay, so battle done. Taken the first village and the Atlas gantry, which is great. Ships work okay. When they get a little close, yes, they are subject to damage. I need to get a couple more destroyers. I need to put one more destroyer into the let's see, it was the Northern Fleet. Northern destroyer fleet. It's only got two, so we'll give it a third one. And also I need to rethink the idea of using an escort ship, because fleet mode doesn't follow the flagship or follow the orders that have been set prior to going in, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's
listening.
That's not what I was expecting.
Listening.
I was expecting the escort here, this G9 escort, to follow the S9, to follow it in over here, and once it was close enough to an enemy, it would, but it didn't. It just stayed where it was down south here. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have a think about that, see what can be done in the campaign, because as I say, I can't do what I would like to do in the basically. I also need to create some more destroyer fleets to protect my rear areas, to be able to go out if the Deepwater Guard try to come across and take any of these points. I need a defensive destroyer fleet or a cruiser and destroyer fleet around this area, maybe in the center area, just as a defense. Plus also I think I'll bring in build up and bring in a proper cruiser, not the Blitz, which was actually Aviso, but actually a proper, more destroyer cruiserish style of ship. At the moment we've been staying to, I think the Blitz was 40k or so something around the 50k mark resources, so I'll get that ready for the next one. So anyway, yeah, disappointed about the fleet move. I hadn't tested that recently. I thought they had changed that, so I'm going to have another rethink, because yeah, that won't work as expected. Anyway, that's it for now. Any comments, leave them down below, but otherwise, As always, keep playing the game and make sure you have fun.